everyone, welcome back. This is Sherry with Heart and Soulful. I'm back in the studio today and I thought I'd pop on here because I'm going to be gone for the holidays to Studio B. And so I've been making some things over the last few days, just trying to get some items made for a Christmas marketplace thing that I'm participating in up in Reno. And so I wanted to share with you, if you have not been following along, just some of the things that I've been making. In that way, if you haven't been watching, you can go back and watch the video tutorials for these items. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a flip through of a journal that I started probably a couple years ago. And I'm going to include it in this playlist just as kind of a little intermission, maybe in this series. We've been working on gel print art projects. And so if you have not been following along, welcome. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I will put a link down for the entire playlist because I think this will be video 26 or 27. And so I will put a link down below for the entire playlist so that if you haven't been following along, you can watch from the beginning and get caught up while I'm away. So I may not make a video next week. So I thought I would just kind of do a little recap and show you something else that I did that I haven't shown on camera. But the last couple of videos, I started making some Christmas items just for myself to give as gifts. And then also, hopefully I'll have enough made and I can include some in the marketplace. And then what doesn't sell, I think that's going to take place on December 12th. So shortly after that, if there is anything Christmas related left, I will try to get it listed into my Etsy shop for you. So one of the things that I had made a few videos ago were these little ornaments, and I think I have made 10 of these now, something like that. And these were using a 1.5 inch circle punch to get this size. But then I decided I wanted to kind of show this, that, you know, if you did watch that video and how I made these, you can kind of make your own variations of them. So I made this one with a larger, this is with a 2 inch circle punch. So you can see it's a little bit larger. And I think this was the size that my grandma and I were making and that I have made in the past for my own tree out of recycled Christmas cards. So if you haven't watched this, I used my stripey papers, the thicker gel print stripey papers, and created these ornaments. So again, if you have not been following along, I cover all of this, but you need to start back at the very beginning, which starts with just gel printing generally, and then how I process and use those papers that I create from those gel prints to make other items. And so these ornaments were one. So I did this one with the larger 2 inch, and then this is with a 1 inch circle punch to create the smaller one. And then if you link them like this, they will, you know, have movement instead of just being stiff with the wire all the way through like we did on this one. So you could do the same thing here. You could have made whatever bead section that you do, you could make it kind of sway also by just making a separate pieces. So I did the same with this. Instead of just making this solid wire all the way through, I made the little ring and then attached the next section. So again, and then this is one of the little leaves that we made a few videos ago. So just kind of showing you that you can kind of come up with your own variations of these ornaments. And then I also made another set of magnets. These weren't with gel prints particularly, but you can use gel prints and make them just little mini art panels that have magnets on the back. So those are kind of fun. These were with watercolor and doodle, but you can do them with your gel prints, doodle on your gel prints, and then create little magnets. I've covered this in a previous video. I think probably around the button jewelry one, somewhere in there. And then I'd also been making more of the cards because I just love these. And I have a whole bunch of circles cut out. And some of them may end up those little tiny ornaments, or some may end up, again, these little ornament ball cards. And they're all one of a kind. I've shown these before, but I made more. And I made more Christmas trees, the decorated ones. And then more of the ones with the little gift packages on them, so that I'll have more of those. So I've been busy. I just haven't been recording a video because I've covered all this, and I made some more gift tags, and I may make some with the ornaments on them too. So that's what I've been working on while you haven't seen me here on camera. But today I wanted to share with you another gel print art. So for those of you who aren't enjoying the crafty things as much, and you want to get back to the what to do with your gel prints, maybe with journaling. So a lot of you use your gel prints for collage and that kind of thing. And so I found when I was cleaning up my studio the other day, I found this journal that I had started quite a while ago and I haven't finished it. It's an altered book journal. And so it's going to get really chunky. You can see where I've kind of sectioned off what I want to do as far as pockets and things on the other pages. So I do have this journal in a series. I'll put a link down below in the playlist. This one is called Use Your Wings because I put that on the front cover there. And this has just kind of been evolving, but it was one of my hand-painted kind of mixed media grungy covers for a book, and then just altering the book. So I haven't flipped through this in a long time, and so I thought I would flip through it with you because it's all, I realized as I was cleaning up and looking through this that I was using gel prints for most of this. And so I thought, well, this will give you maybe some kind of just some inspiration, just using your gel prints for your journal spreads. So I'm going to get back to this one of these days. And like I said, I have not played around with this in a long time. But this was a little mechanical page that I did. And, you know, just using a gel print for the collage around. And then this little card that you can journal. But it's just kind of a fun little mechanical thing. So this was all done with the gel print, with the gel plate. And then just, you know, some little cards and little tags that you could journal on. The theme of this book is Use Your Wings. And so I tried to have it be, everything is something to do with things with wings. So this spread has the bird, and you'll see each spread is kind of a different something with wings. So just some little fun tags and cards. And this was a magazine photo or something I found online, and it was she had a bird's nest. Her hair was kind of a bird's nest. But just kind of fun things. And that was, again, another gel print. So, you know, using your gel prints to create journals. And so it's just kind of chock full. Birdie Darling. This was off of a piece of Tim Holtz tissue, I think. But just using kind of mixed media techniques in gel prints. And so then this one's Dragonflies. And again, another kind of mechanical page. So I do cover, before you ask in this video, there's tutorials on all of this stuff that you see. You'll just need to go to this different playlist. But it's Dragonflies here. Some more little tags and fun little paper clips. It's just fun looking through this. Like I said, I probably started this a couple of years ago. So these are all gel prints too, you know, on the, I've used the book page to create the pockets. You can't even see the book page anymore, but covered it with different gel prints. So those are kind of fun little double pockets. And some grungy paper that just has some stitching on it. And this is some organza ribbon, I can tell, covering over some of the, just to give it that little coppery color. Oh, and here's another pocket. So this is collaged gel prints also. And then I've added on top of that. I'm sure in this playlist there's probably a flip through that explains all this better because, like I said, I haven't even looked at this in a couple of years probably. Then this one is another kind of bird. This is, I live in the mountains, and so this was kind of a bunch of torn kind of, and I remember, I think this was the year we were having a lot of fires, so I kind of got that smoky look we were getting. But again, with gel prints, all of this collage-y stuff is different gel prints. I must have been going through a dark, moody phase here. Probably all the fires, smoke from the fires, little notepads with some little tiny beads. And I remember I was going through a phase of doing all these Japanese stitching spines, little scrappy journals. Just a lot of fun. It's fun to kind of go back and just revisit some of this stuff. So I'll have to kind of, this must have been just kind of like different things you see in the mountains. Different bugs, different birds. There's something stuck in here, I can feel it. The moon. I remember I have a photo of, we get a really big moon over the mountains that are behind us. And I remember taking a picture once where it looked like the moon was walking down the mountain. So that's kind of fun. Oh, I looked at that already. Oh, and then this would have been, yeah, so this was probably like in September. I probably did one a month kind of thing. So June, July, August. No, this is July, August, which makes sense, kind of what you see out. September. I remember we had a lot of smoke from the fires around then. And then October, my bat page with kind of this like little springy thing. Oh, this is like a mechanical little thing too. Yeah, it's fun because where I live, as soon as the sun starts to set, you can just watch it set behind the mountains and the bats will come out because we have migrating bats here and they eat all the mosquitoes. So even though we're right next to a creek, I don't have any mosquitoes. I really like this little card. That's fun. And then just another little card with a pocket. And me still saving all my little jelly print scraps. Let's see, if you take these out, you see I've covered most of the book page. This was gel print on a book page here, but I've covered most of them with another gel print. Your crazy is showing. You might want to tuck that back in. Yeah, I get a little detail-oriented, don't I? And these are my little watch faces that I have a kit. I have those in a kit. And another little thing about bats, little flippy thing. And I like to, when I do a theme like that, I like to look up little sayings about, so all these have to do with little sayings about bats, information about bats. I had one on the dragonfly page too. I'll just kind of, it makes me do a little research about things. But again, all these are gel prints. So I think that's fun. This isn't. This is a Tim Holtz paper. Get that one. Pocket, yeah. And then I ended there. I don't have anything in this pocket. I need to do a card for that still. And then this spread is where I finished, and it was going to be owls. All about owls. But this is with some gel prints again, collaged. And then these are, this one's part of this page, but this one's added on and then stitched on. And I kind of have him sitting forward. That's a gel print too with a little bit of doodling on it. See if that's stuck down. Oh, that was supposed to be a pocket, a cellophane pocket. That I just tore off the, so I have to glue that back on. Again, just some gel prints and different things collaged on the back of that. See, now it makes me miss, oh, this is also a pocket. I can add something. This makes me miss my grungy stuff, so I think here soon I'm probably going to get back to some more kind of neutral grungy things. And then I hadn't done anything on this side yet, so that's where I ended. I've got a lot more to do here. But this was a fun project. So if you have not been, you're not into the crafty things, get your journal out or start doing an altered book using your gel prints that you've been making to do your decorating in. So it's kind of nice because then you can mix, like I said, some of this was Tim Holtz stuff. You can see that there's, a few little embellishments and things that are added, but you can, use for the most part all of your backgrounds and things, use your gel prints. So just kind of a fun little flip through to hopefully give you some inspiration on another way to use your gel prints in your art, that it could be, your art journal. So I hope, this may give you some ideas. Again, you might want to go back and watch some of the tutorials for this. This was a lot of fun to work on, and hopefully you're inspired. I'm going to head out for the Thanksgiving holidays. I hope you have a safe holiday season, especially if you're traveling, and we'll catch up with you when I get back. So have a great rest of your day. Now go make something. Bye.